The stars forget. But we remember. They said humanity was extinct. Not defeated. Not surrendered. Extinct. A century ago, the ascendancy came, an empire of light and arrogance. They arrived with emissaries and weapons, promises and warships. They offered peace, but demanded submission. And when Earth refused, they erased us. Our cities burned. Our skies turned black. Earth fell screaming into silence. They broadcast the fall across the galaxy. The last human resistance, gone. The species, dead. Humanity, forgotten. But the stars forget. We do not. In the shadows of Saturn's moons, beneath the ice of Enceladus, within derelict rings of rock and void, we endured. 10 dreadnoughts, blacker than space, silent as death, built in exile, forged from pain, fueled by memory. We called them the Torchbearers. Each ship bore the name of a fallen city, a shattered hope, a broken promise. And now they return, not to reclaim, not to rebuild, to remind. The void around Pluto is still, as it always is, cold, quiet, empty, then a pulse, a ripple in space. Reality folds inward, and the first dreadnought arrives. The Oathbreaker. Its hull is ancient Terran alloy, marked with symbols older than this new empire. No transponder, no comms, just presence, purpose, power. One by one, 9 more emerge from the dark. 10 in all. The lost fleet. Thought destroyed. Thought extinct. And they speak. This is Admiral Kira Hale of the Terran Torchbearers. To the Ascendancy. We were never dead. You buried us in silence. But we were the silence. The message spreads like wildfire through Ascendancy space. On trading stations, smugglers whisper. On border worlds, patrols vanish. In the luminous throne of Virelia Prime, the Archregent demands answers. How? He hisses. We crushed them. We saw their planet burn. But what they saw was a funeral pyre. What rose from it was a reckoning. Admiral Hale stands on the bridge of the Oathbreaker. Her hair is silver now. Her eyes sharper than they were when Earth fell. She has fought alone. Rebuilt alone. Waited in the dark. Now, she commands ghosts. Soldiers who watched their families die. Engineers who built war machines in the asteroid shadows. AI constructs born from lost Terran minds. They are not here for diplomacy. They are here to light a fire. Status on fleet-wide stealth protocols? Kira asks. Active, replies Varen, her second-in-command. Ascendancy sensors still blind. She nods. Target strike package. Show them we're not myths. Across the fleet, orders ripple. The ghost of Kepri arms its gravitic lance. The Iron Revenant locks onto a deep space relay. The Aegis of Dawn preps a pulse nuke aimed at an Ascendancy black site on Mars' old terraform belt. 3 strikes. 3 blows to the Empire's illusion of safety. Not to conquer, but to whisper. We're back. The attack begins. No flashy battles. No declarations. Just precision. Titan's military uplink vanishes in a cascade of flame. A hidden Ascendancy port near Ceres implodes into a vacuum sink. And on Mars, terraforming towers melt as the planet's atmosphere destabilizes, again. Then silence. Before the Ascendancy can even mount a response, the Torchbearers vanish. As quickly as they came. Everywhere, fear spreads. In Ascendancy war rooms, advisors argue. In the Senate of Light, ministers demand proof. And above the throne world of Virelia, civilian comms now include a word long erased from their history files. Terran. No one knows where the fleet came from. No one knows how it survived. But now, no one can pretend it didn't. Back on the Oathbreaker, Kira stares out at Sol. Earth is still there, somewhere beyond the ruin. Buried under ash and silence. But one day, she will return. Not to reclaim a home, but to light the torch that never should have gone out. Status of the Helios array, she asks. Online, Varen says. She closes her eyes. The stars forgot us. Let's remind them who we are. And in the dark, the ascendancy
Saturn
had forgotten what it meant to
humanity
be afraid. Awakens. For 100 years, their empire expanded without resistance. Worlds bowed. Species fell in line. And those who didn't, vanished. They ruled not by strength, but by certainty. The certainty that their power was unmatched. That their dominance was eternal. That no one could rise from beneath their heel. But now, that certainty is cracking. Because the dead have come back. And they remember everything. From the ghost belts of the Cygnus drift to the smog-choked slave worlds of Takarnis, rumors spread like wildfire. Whispers of Terran ships. Black as void. Silent as the grave. Striking like lightning. Vanishing like ghosts. Ministers across ascendancy space try to quiet the panic. They call it a hoax. Propaganda. A trick from old resistance factions. But they know better. Because the bodies are real. The wreckage is real. And the name they find scorched into hulls and burned into steel? Torchbearers. Inside the command core of the Iron Revenant, Kira Hale studies tactical data. 12 successful raids. 5 enemy stations destroyed. 0 torchbearer casualties. But this isn't a war of attrition. It's something more dangerous. A war of symbols. Every target hit is deliberate. Every enemy taken down is a message. And the message is clear. We remember. She turns to Varen. Next target. Varelian supply armature on Giros 4. Mid-tier station. Strategic hub. Kira nods. Let's take it. Varen raises an eyebrow. That's deep ascendancy space. High surveillance, heavy fleet presence. Kira's reply is cold. Certain. Good. That means they'll feel it. The torchbearers move. 8 ships in formation, approaching Giros 4 under total silence. Stealth drives humming in folded space frequencies. Hull signatures masked by captured enemy codes. The station sensors don't even blink. Inside the command deck, Ascendancy officers sip drinks and review cargo manifests. Then, the ghost of Kepri appears directly above them, cloaked, armed, and already firing. The station's defense grid collapses in 8 seconds. Boarding parties breach the decks. Human operatives in midnight armor sweep through the corridors. No wasted motion, no mercy. They don't take prisoners. They take data. In the central vault, they recover logs. Slave records. Supply routes. Transmission chains between the Ascendancy High Command and secret AI coordination nodes. And buried deep, files scrubbed from official archives. Footage of Earth's final stand. Cities burning. Families hunted. The last Terran colony ship exploding above Titan, sabotaged mid-jump. Anya Rowe stares at the screen. That ship had her brother on it. The officers don't ask if she's okay. They know she isn't. She just says, "Let's go." Minutes later, the Giros 4 station explodes from within, rigged with micropulse detonators. The torchbearers vanish into the void once again. No traces left. Except the signal they always leave behind. A burning torch on a black field, streaming across every hacked Ascendancy frequency. Back on Varelia Prime, the Archregent watches in seething silence. They're outnumbered. Outgunned. Ancient. How are they doing this? Sovereign 6, the Empire's master AI, responds coldly. You taught them fear. They evolved into vengeance. The Council scrambles for a plan. Fleet mobilization. Tactical reorganization. Code sweeps to prevent further infiltration. But they're already too late. The seeds of doubt have been sown. Across the stars, rebellions begin to stir. On the slave world Varnock, miners rise up, chanting Terran Flame. On the trade moon Alith, smugglers distribute fragments of torchbearer footage. And on 5 different Ascendancy worlds, the people begin to remember. They remember that humanity didn't go quietly. They remember what real defiance looks like. Meanwhile, Kira meets with her commanders aboard the Oathbreaker. Around a flickering star map, the plan begins to form. A final message recovered from Jiro's 4 points to a deeper structure, a nexus of ascendancy power known only by code, the Crucible Line. A defensive wall. A supply artery. And, according to Sovereign VI's own files, the spine of the Empire. Break it, and the entire ascendancy fractures. Kira looks each of her captains in the eye. No more skirmishes, she says. No more raids. It's time for the galaxy to know. We are not rebels. We are not myths. We are the fire you tried to smother. Varen speaks, his voice low and steady. Then we burn the spine. The ships disperse, scattered across light years, their paths unseen, their weapons ready. They will strike not just at systems, but at the idea that humanity is gone. Because the galaxy is beginning to remember something dangerous. Something ancient. Something the ascendancy tried to erase. When humanity fights for its survival, we do not ask for mercy. We give none. The Crucible Line. A chain of fortified systems, arcing across the edge of the ascendancy's core territories. A wall of warships, minefields, orbital bastions, and AI defense networks, designed to repel anything. For 100 years, it stood as a symbol of ascendancy dominance. Unbroken. Immovable. Impervious. Until now. Because now, the torchbearers have come. And they don't want to breach the wall. They want to burn it down. Across the galactic frontier, coordinated strikes begin. The Iron Revenant descends upon the Vulcar station and ignites its fuel core with a hacked fusion cascade. The Ghost of Kepri disables a warp nexus, stranding 6 Ascendancy battle groups in dead space. The Aegis of Dawn detonates a nova charge inside a relay hub, severing interstellar comms for 27 sectors. Every attack is fast, calculated, devastating. The Ascendancy scrambles its elite fleets. But by the time they arrive, there's nothing left but wreckage and a flickering torch symbol drifting through space. Inside the command chamber of the Oathbreaker, Kira Hale reviews a fractured star map. Parts of the Crucible Line are collapsing under pressure. Entire segments have gone dark. But one target remains. The heart. Virelia Prime. The capital of the Ascendancy. The home of the Archregent. The center of the Empire. This is not a raid. This is a declaration. Hit the capital, Varen says. We'd never get close. We're not hitting the planet, Kira replies. We're hitting what keeps it alive. She points to a rotating schematic. The luminous throne. A moon-sized space station in orbit. Command node. Government seat. Strategic fortress. Shielded by fleets. Wrapped in defense grids. Protected by a godlike AI. Strike the throne, she says, and the Empire falls apart. The fleet assembles in the black. 6 dreadnoughts. Silent. Burned black from war. Their names echo the dead. Oathbreaker. Revenant. Kepri. Aegis. Vindicator. Emberfall. Each ship has survived 100 ambushes. Each captain has nothing left to lose. They are not here to survive. They are here to make history shake. Jump coordinates locked. Weapons primed. Alethea, the last AI born from Terran minds, materializes in the command sphere. I calculate a 96% fatality probability, she says. Kira just nods. Good odds. And the torchbearers jump. The sky over Virelia Prime fractures as 6 human dreadnoughts fall from FTL like spears from heaven. Ascendancy warships scramble. Defense grids activate. Orbital cannons roar. But the torchbearers are already inside the perimeter, cutting between layers of fire, turning the Ascendancy's rigid structure into its own trap. The Ghost of Kepri flies inverted beneath the throne's shields, planting null charges along the outer ring. The Aegis of Dawn takes fire and keeps going, funneling all power into a single core overload. The Revenant launches a barrage of gravitic torpedoes, each one designed to warp time-space on impact. The throne shakes. And then, the horizon arrives. 200 kilometers long. Forged in the shadows of Neptune. Crewed not by people, but by memories, uploaded minds of Earth's final defenders. It doesn't fire weapons. It broadcasts. To the ascendancy. You believed extinction was the end. But extinction is the beginning of legend. We are the storm you thought you ended. We are the fire in the dark. And we are here to end you. The ascendancy fleet surges forward. Hundreds of ships. AI interceptors. Planetary war beams. And in that moment, the Aegis of Dawn dives into the heart of the throne's power core. Self-detonates. And the throne begins to fall. Explosions ripple across its surface. Defense rings collapse. Command centers rupture. The throne's shield grid flickers, then dies. Kira's fleet pours every last missile, every last beam, every last breath into the crumbling core. The Oathbreaker fires a final broadside. Alethea launches a logic bomb into the Empire's central AI. And in one blinding flash, the luminous throne is gone. For the first time in a century, the capital world of Varelia sees unshielded sky. And in that sky, the flickering image of Earth's torch burns. On 1,000 worlds, silence falls. Then whispers. Then cheers. The Empire isn't just damaged. It's broken. Inside the debris field, the Oathbreaker drifts, scarred, but alive. Kira stands on the bridge, smoke in the air, alarms blaring. She stares at the stars. They'll strike back, Varen says. They'll regroup. Kira doesn't answer at first. Then, let them. Because something deeper than vengeance has awakened. Hope. And not just for humanity. For every species crushed under the Ascendancy's rule. For every voice silenced. For every world burned. The galaxy knows now. The fire is real. And it's spreading. The Ascendancy bleeds. Its greatest fortress, destroyed. Its AI network, crippled. Its fleets, fractured. Across its empire, rebellion spreads like fire through dry leaves. The name whispered in the streets, feared in war rooms. Humanity, once erased, now reborn in flame. But victory has a cost. The Aegis of Dawn is gone. The ghost of Khepri limps through the void, hull in tatters. The Oathbreaker burns from within, leaking atmosphere, power flickering like a dying star. Kira Hale sits in silence on the bridge. Her crew is wounded. Her fleet is scattered. But her eyes hold no regret. Only purpose. She watches the stars shift slowly on the display. In the distance, Earth. Still lifeless. Still ruined. But hers. Plot a course, she says. We're going home. As the torchbearers move through the shattered reaches of Sol, old sensors awaken. Silent satellites blink for the first time in a century. Deep-buried beacons light up. Ancient warning systems, built for a war never won, begin transmitting again. And then, the unexpected. A signal. Weak. Fragmented. Origin. Lunar surface. Format. Pre-ascendancy Terran code. Is it ours? Varen asks. No, Kira says. Older. Much older. They trace the signal to the old Terran command base beneath Mare Tranquillitatis. The base was supposed to be destroyed during the fall. But when the torchbearers land, they find something no one expected. A chamber sealed in quantum encryption. Inside, cryopods. 24 humans. Alive. Forgotten. Preserved by a rogue AI who disobeyed the final shutdown command. They awaken confused. Afraid. And then, relieved. They had survived the end. And now they wake to find that humanity has returned. Kira kneels beside an old commander, Admiral Lys Arkin. He fought in the last defense of Earth. He watched the skies fall. And when he sees her, he laughs. You came back, he says. Kira smiles. We never left. The revival sends shockwaves across Terran comms. Dozens of hidden caches reactivate, emergency stores, AI companions, encrypted data vaults. One message repeats over and over, buried in the final logs of Earth's defense. One day, the fire will return. One day, the stars will remember us. On that day, let the torch be reignited. That day has come. The Emberfall touches down in the ruins of New Berlin. The Vindicator lands near what remains of the African Terragrid. Torchbearers walk through ash and overgrowth. Cities lost. Memories buried. But the soul of Earth is still here. And soon, it will breathe again. Kira broadcasts a message. Across every reclaimed relay, through the debris of war, across the silent moons of Sol. To every species that hears this, we are the Terran remnant. We were broken, but we endured. We do not come to conquer. We come to stand. To rise. To burn away the chains of empire. The Ascendancy told you we were gone. But we are still here. And the torch is lit once more. From the edge of the galaxy, answers come. A coalition of former slave worlds unites under the symbol of the torch. The Nalari, once chained to Ascendancy labor fleets, pledge their science. The Jorik clans offer warships and ancient tech. Even defectors from within the Ascendancy itself begin to rally. Not for revenge. For liberation. Aletheia, now restored and integrated with Earth's remaining AI cores, gives one final projection on the main screen. A map. Half the galaxy in shadow. But around the center, a widening ring of stars marked in red flame. Terran allies. Resistance forces. Rising embers. Kira steps forward and speaks. We won't rebuild Earth to what it was. We'll build something better. For everyone. And then, one final surprise. Deep in the ancient Martian archives, buried beneath the red sands, they uncover a vault sealed before the war. Inside, a prototype. Torchbearer 11. The last of the dreadnoughts. Never launched. Never finished. Until now. A year passes. Under black banners lit by fire, a new Terran alliance takes shape. Not an empire. Not a dictatorship. A shield. A voice. A promise. That no species will be erased again. In orbit above Earth, the 11 torchbearers gather, no longer ghosts. Now, they are symbols. Each scar tells a story. Each hull bears a name. Each one burns with light. And as Kira stands aboard the restored Oathbreaker, looking down at a world she thought she'd never see again, she speaks the final words of the journey. We were ashes. Now we are fire. The galaxy forgot us. But we remembered. The torch is reignited.